In this video, I want to talk about two new policy changes to the Amex Centurion Lounge that you need to know about. We also have an Amex checking account bonus to tell you about, a few high welcome bonuses, and a new Chase credit card that should be coming out soon. Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. My name is Ben Hedges, aka the Credit Shifu, and on this channel, I cover US credit cards, personal finance, and luxury travel. If you like the sound of that, please subscribe. But let's get into it. So let's talk about the changes to the Centurion Lounge entry rules first. The Centurion Lounge, if you don't know, is one of the flagship benefits of the Amex Platinum card. It is American Express's series of proprietary lounges that, in my opinion, are some of the best lounges out there. Now, this update comes from the Points Guy. It's an exclusive. Amex shared information with their team. The article starts by saying, according to information shared with TPG, the Points Guy, the issuer will change its Centurion Lounge access rules beginning July 8th. Amex says the updates are intended to help preserve the Centurion Lounge experience by ensuring card members and their guests continue to have a comfortable place to relax and recharge while traveling. They then go on to talk about the two new rules. First is an update to guest policies. So when you bring in guests, which ever since an update a couple of years ago you've had to pay for, unless you spend $75,000 a year on the Platinum card, but when you bring in guests, they now have to be traveling on the same flight as you. Now, this probably won't affect most people, since if you are at the airport with someone else, chances are they're on the same flight, okay? However, I can see there being a small percentage of situations where that isn't the case. Like you went on a trip with someone and you booked your tickets at different times, so you ended up taking different planes because one person got a better price on a different flight that was kind of roughly at the same time but not the same one as you. Or you met up with friends from different cities to go on a vacation together and now you're all parting ways and going home. So this is really just Amex getting rid of a small number of guest visits, maybe just a few percentage points, since the most common guest to have, I think, would be a family member or a work colleague. And in those cases, 99% of the time, you would be on the same flight. But now I've said that, Murphy's Law, I will probably encounter this, okay? For points and miles people, this probably isn't good. Like if you find good award rates on one airline for maybe half of your family, and then there's no more availability, so you book the other half of your family on another flight where you found, good reward rates on that flight and availability, you're gonna get free flights, but now you can't go into a lounge together. Although if you book business class, then it wouldn't matter since they have lounges anyway, and that's the most common type of awards booking, at least for me, all right? And if you book economy, you're way more likely to be able to find like 4 or 5 seats together on a flight. So it's going to be a small number of people that this would affect. Maybe leave a comment below, all right? Do you see this being a problem for you and why? I'd love to hear how many people think that they're going to be affected. All right, next rule change. To enter the Centurion Lounge on a layover, you now can only enter the lounge within 5 hours of your departing flight's takeoff time. When I first read this, I misunderstood it, meaning you had to enter 5 hours before your flight, and if it was like 4.5 hours until your flight, you weren't allowed in, and I was super annoyed about it, but that was first thing in the morning, okay, and I guess that's what you get for reading something when you've just woken up with like a sleepy head and you don't even understand what you're reading, all right? So I misunderstood it. I was pretty angry for a while, but then I realized what it meant. And actually, when you just get a flight and it's not like a layover, it's just your first flight of the day, you can only enter 3 hours before your flight. On layovers, it used to be unlimited. Okay, I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think it used to be unlimited. Since what if your flight doesn't leave for 4 hours? Are you just gonna have people sit in the terminal until it's 3 hours until their flight? But I guess people might have been abusing this. Some guy with like a 12-hour layover just stays in the lounge the whole day and eats 2 or even 3 meals in there, taking up a seat, etc. So 5 hours is kind of a compromise. I try not to do layovers personally longer than 3 or 4 hours anyway, since once you hit 5, or certainly when you hit 6 hours, it's often more worthwhile just to go through security and leave the airport and go and do something in whatever city you're in, all right? Like go to a museum or go to a restaurant or whatever and come back later. So while this is still a shame, I think if it would help ease crowding, it's actually a sacrifice that I'm willing to make, all right, if it makes those lines to get in shorter. So no, these changes don't really ruin the Centurion Lounge, but it is always sad to see it getting more restrictive. And like we said at the beginning, these changes come in on July 8th, so you still have about half a year until it becomes a thing. And if you're interested in accessing the Centurion Lounge, you will need the Amex Platinum, all right? I will put my Amex referral link down below where you can find pretty much every Amex card. The current bonus on the Platinum is up to 175,000 points depending on what they offer you. So try it out, all right? See what you're targeted with. There's no effect on your credit score if you don't like like their offer and you decide not to go through with the application. Link is down below. And speaking of bonuses, let's talk about some bank account and credit card bonuses that are available right now. So first, sticking with Amex, on the Amex checking account, if you apply by tomorrow, January 31st, there is a $250 welcome bonus you can get. Now, you do need to make deposits of $5,000, but you have 90 days to do that. So if you just switch your monthly salary to get paid into that account, anyone who works full-time should surpass $5,000, probably in maximum 60 days. Probably some people will surpass it in 30 days. This is the account that has a debit card where you can earn 1 Amex point for every $2 you spend. So if you have been thinking about getting that, then this is a good chance to get it and get it with a welcome bonus. But just be super quick because this does end tomorrow. Next, we have a new bonus on the Capital One Venture. This isn't on the Venture X, but the lower level, the sort of mid-level travel card, the Venture, and it's 75,000 points plus a $250 Capital One travel credit for spending $4,000 on purchases in 3 months. So that is worth at least $1,000 in free travel, but it depends on how you use the points. If you transfer them out to travel partners, you could get more value for them. This bonus was around last year, then it went down to just 75,000 points, but now it is back and it is a limited time offer, so do be quick. Next, we have historic high bonuses on the Amex Delta cards. 90,000 Sky Miles on the Gold, 100,000 on the Platinum, and 125,000 on the Reserve. And that's for spending 3,000, 4,000, or 6,000 in your first 6 months. If we use a point sky valuation of 1.25 cents for each Sky Mile, that takes us to $1,125 in value on the Gold, $1,250 on the Platinum, and $1,562.50 in value on the Reserve card. These offers are basically in line with the historical highest offers on these cards. There's also another offer that you can get on the Gold card, which is 60,000 miles for spending $3,000 plus a $500 statement credit for Delta flights in the first 6 months. So this one's actually a better offer than that 90,000 points offer on the Gold. And the way to find this deal is to do a dummy booking on Delta's site, okay? It could be a real booking too, but a dummy booking will suffice. So you can see here, I'm just putting in a flight like say JFK to LAX, whatever dates. And yeah, look, an ad for it already shows up when you're choosing the flights, but this one isn't clickable yet. So you need to go to the next screen, and you see it here on the right, but then you still have to go to one more screen, all right? So hit continue to review and pay. Don't worry, you're not going to be charged yet. And the application pops up right within Delta's site. You can apply for the card and then exit the booking without actually booking the flight. Although I assume you will want to be booking a flight with Delta within the next 6 months to use that $500 statement credit. Otherwise, the regular 90,000 bonus is actually going to be a better deal, all right? If you don't manage to spend the $500, you'd only be getting 60,000 points. All these Delta bonuses run until April 1st, 2026, including the dummy booking one. All right, let's now look at our last story of the day, which is a new Chase card. So this one is kind of a funny one, okay? This was posted on some Discord forum called Disboards, okay? I haven't heard of it before, but it was a link from some other sites. So you have a photo of a promotion for a new Disney credit card, and then the user says this: Tuesday in Epcot, that's one of Disney's parks in Florida, I spotted ads at Club Cool checkout counters for this black Disney card called Inspire. Above, the standard and premier cards per the highest sign-up bonuses advertised. QR code went to the regular Chase website that only listed the 2 lower cards. I searched Google, but nothing is coming up there either. So this must be very new, possibly an earlier than planned display. So if you don't know, there are 2 Disney credit cards issued by Chase. So I guess he is assuming that this is another one also from Chase. In fact, he says the QR code took him to Chase's website. So yeah, it looks like this would be from Chase, but it's not out yet, right? So I'm guessing, like he was guessing, the staff at Epcot, at Club Cool or whatever it was, just put up the ad for it early. From this, we can see that the card is called Inspire, and you get an up to $600 welcome bonus in 2 parts, okay? It's a $300 e-gift card and then a $300 statement credit. It's so low res, the photo, that I can't really make out the small print on those bonuses, so I don't know specifically what they're exactly for. But, you know, if you can use that for park entry fees or for hotels at Disneyland or Disney cruises, it could help you in paying for a vacation, okay? You're not going to be spending all that on your Disney Plus subscription, okay? So it's probably going to be used for travel and park entrance fees. So if you are interested for a Disney vacation, maybe in spring or something, spring break, look out for this card probably coming out soon. And seeing as one of Chase's 2 Disney cards, the current 2, has a $49 annual fee, all right? The other one's 0 annual fee, this one's $49. It's gonna probably be higher than that, all right? Since this new Inspire card has a higher bonus, suggesting it is a higher tier card. So I'm guessing that it would be either a $95 or $99 annual fee. All right, guys, that is the video for today. If you are in the market for a new Amex card, do check out my referral link in the description below. It links to pretty much all Amex cards that you can apply for. Some of them do have high bonuses as well, like the 175 on the Platinum. I think there's a high bonus on Gold too, so do check them out. Also, another card that I use a lot these days is the Gemini MasterCard. Okay, this earns me 4% back in the form of Bitcoin on my gas spending and also 3% back in Bitcoin on dining. It's a great time to be earning Bitcoin rewards since Bitcoin has actually pulled back from its all-time high, right? It went up to 125, now it's down at like, 80 something, in the 80s. So if you accumulate Bitcoin rewards now and you hold them, they should actually end up being worth more in the future. Probably a lot more if you hold them through the next cycle. To the moon!
To the moon.
There's also a $200 welcome bonus on that card. Link for that one will be below as well. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.